to have everyone here, and also important to give the community an opportunity to be present at tonight's meeting. And for the time being, we'll continue to meet here in the auditorium as long as we are following the guidelines of COVID-19, the rules that are established here within the state of Texas. So again, thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for social distancing. I also understand, Tony Picasso, where are you? Raise your hand. There you are. Thank you very much for you and folks who set up tonight's arrangements, and appreciate all that support, Tony. Thank you. And to anyone else who may have assisted tonight for setting this up, thank you. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Cohen for his remarks.
Absolutely. I'd like to just add a little bit to that. I would say we have a very humble group of trustees here, and do know that our move over here is to make sure that our community at home, and y'all here can hear over the air conditioners and the noise that's been happening, and also as the year begins, be able to get people in the building to be able to attend our meetings and to celebrate kids. So we really appreciate that again, Tony. I also want to say tonight that there's an important conversation tonight that we'll be talking about. That important conversation is about COVID-19. And we're part way there with our plans, and we have still some more planning to do. But what I want to say, first and foremost, because there are a million different opinions out there. If you read social media, you read politics, people square off on their sides. We care about our teachers and their safety. We care about our kids and their safety. And we care about our parents that have to go to work. All those are important. We will find a way to balance what the state has given us. A lot of the options that we have are close to being solid at this particular time. Even when there are options, there are circumstances that you have to meet to be able to take care of an option. So we'll talk about some of those things tonight. But first and foremost are our teachers and our kids and parents, and how we can take care of them in light of all of those guidelines and regulations coming from the state and the health department. So, thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Cohen. And with that being said, we're going to move to recognition, State Visual Arts, Scholastic event, the base art students. Mrs. Mills.
Good evening, board, community members, Dr. Cohen. It's a great honor to have Ms. Mills here tonight to talk about the accomplishments of our students in the base state competition. Mrs. Mills has built an incredible program here for art, and it's one of the things that Vernia High School is famous for, just how great artists our kids are. And of course, Mrs. Mills is the heart and soul of that program. And we all love Mrs. Mills, and she's here to talk about how her kids did tonight.
Thank you for having me and letting me display our students' artwork. I really had a nice little speech, not very short, written, and I asked my son to bring it because I forgot it, but he assured me, being a speech and debate kid, that I had to have some of those genes and I could just wing it. So in other words, he didn't want to stop eating and bring it to me. So we had 22 advance to state, the state competition when all this hit. And so they judged it online, and we had 17 receive state medals, which was really good. So I'm just going to list those, just so you know who the students are. I added more work than just our state ones, just to fill in a little bit more, because there's a lot of artwork that could have also gone to state. Gavin Austin was a senior. Leah Bodke is a sophomore. Cambria Burnett is a sophomore. Lily Fike is a sophomore. Julian Garcia is a junior, going to be a senior. Candace Garza is a junior. Simone Green was a senior. Jose Gutierrez was a senior. Riley Harper, sophomore. Kelsey Jones, sophomore. Levi Martinez was a senior. Jocelyn Mendoza was a senior. Lyle Robbins, a junior. Braden Slaughter, a junior. Holiday Stewart was a senior. And Maria Valero was a freshman. So we have quite a few coming back, which I'm excited about. I also wanted to talk about our AP scores. This year was a challenge. Not only did we have a new AP portfolio, there's actually 3 different portfolios. We do 2 of them. But to do it remote was definitely challenging because obviously, I know y'all remember when we were told to stay home, kids didn't have their supplies. They didn't have their portfolios. There was a lot of challenges facing these kids. And I only lost one that kind of just couldn't do it, just dropped out. But the other 11 worked through their issues, they communicated, and we ended up with 100% passing rate. 4 of our students received a 3, which was about like a B at the college level, although they'll probably just do it as credit. 4 of them received 4s, which is an A-, mid-A in the college level, and we received 3 5s, which is your best score, an A+. So I'm super proud of them working through the frustrations that we had in the spring, and it really paid off for them. So, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Mills. Can we get a round of applause for Mrs. Mills? Thanks again. And now at this time, continuing with our recognition, we are going to recognize the Vernia Historical Association. Dr. Cohen?
Absolutely. Tonight, we have Elaine Stevens and Susan Richter that will be joining us at the podium to tell us a little bit about the work that they've done over the last couple of months. I think they were slated to come talk to the board back in March or something before COVID hit. And before I release it, y'all also just want to acknowledge Dr. Tony Reesterwood, who worked with them over the months to get to this point. So thank you, Tony. Ladies.
Thank you. Board members and community members are happy to be here tonight. My name is Elaine Stevens, and I'm president of the Vernia Historical Association. And I'm with Susan Richter, who is the vice president of the Vernia Historical Association and director of the Vernia Heritage Museum. And we are here tonight because, and we know that you have a lot on your agenda, so we'll be very quick. We have been working on this project, as mentioned, to raise public awareness and appreciation of our few remaining local historical buildings. One of these buildings is the original 1930 Vernia School brick building, which is now designated, which is now called the Building 100, as you know. And it's located on the current Vernia Junior High campus. So we are here seeking your approval, your permission, your okay, to place a commemorative plaque at the front of the 100 building to highlight the historical significance about the first building that was built by the Vernia ISD. This plaque would be erected on a pole at our expense. Key message right there, at our expense. We're not going to be shy about telling you that we're happy to accept any donations. That's how we work, donations and memberships. But this pole and the marker is at our expense. And on your, the handout that we've given you is a sample or what the marker will look like. I'm sorry that some of the copies are very poor, but you can still read the information on the marker. And the size of it is, I forgot to get the size, 12 by 24. That's the size of it. And the placement of this plaque is for informational purposes only. This is not a Texas Historical Commission historical marker. And so therefore it has no restrictions on the property. People get confused about historical markers, and we wanted to make that very clear. There's no restrictions on the property. This plaque is actually, it's just coming from us. So, did you have any questions about it? Or what do you think?
Any questions, anyone?
I think it's just a great idea to recognize the building because, there's always been some questions on the history of the Vernia School District, and I think this helps establish some information.
No, thank you. I don't know if we need to read the information on the marker or not. You can read it, or there's certain facts that we wanted everybody to be aware of and understand the difference between Vernia ISD and the school district before it was the ISD. Susan, was there anything you wanted to add to it? Did I forget anything?
What are they putting out here for?
Heard about that?
So our presentation system is obviously much different with us being on the stage now. But still, if no one had anything else, we definitely want to let both Ms. Richter and Ms. Stevens know that we greatly appreciate it. And here's just a small token of our appreciation. So thank you very, very much. Sylvia, an elbow. Thank y'all for your hard work. Appreciate
Thank you
it.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now that we-
Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
Again, thank you very much, Mrs. Stevens, Mrs. Richter. Really appreciate your time and efforts and what you do for the LaVernia community. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, next item, public comment. Pursuant to the newly enacted Texas Government Code Section 551.007, the board will hear public comment at every meeting and will allow members of the public to speak on any agenda item posted for consideration by the board at that meeting. The board may limit the amount of time allotted to each speaker in order to allow an opportunity for everyone to speak who wishes to do so and maintain order and efficiency in its meetings. Anyone wishing to sign up to speak in public comment must do so not later than the start of the meeting. So Mrs. Watson, do we have anyone who signed up? Okay, so no one has signed up at this time. All right, moving to the next item, executive session. Pursuant to Texas Government Code Sections 551.074, the board will move into executive session. The topic is personnel, and we will be back. It is right now 6:45, moving into executive session.